Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 122nd Street, New York, and the commanding GEN.YAHANNA. I'm preaching officer your card. It's preaching officer. Alright, and today we are about to begin today's Sabbath service as it is written in the scriptures. Yes. John, what you up down, which means to rise and face the east. Yep. SHALAM to Israel. Sir, it's your turn. Let's pray in the Hebrew. Amanawa, Shabashumayim, Dash, Yah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakota, Taba'a, Nakazaka, Ayah, Isha, Barakasa, Kawa, Ayah, Mashumayim, Nathan, Banawa, Lakan, Ka, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawatnawa, Wala'a, Tabian, Wanasawan, Abba, Awashana, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalapa, Ra'al, Wa'apara, Iwanami, Aman.
The English, our Father,
God in heaven,
thy name,
Yahweh,
kingdom
come,
come, will be done,
in earth,
as
in heaven,
this day,
the bread, give us our debt, give us not, temptation, deliver us from evil, and the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. We will say, in Hakka, the power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Abu Bishar, Sanda now, Hakka, Almaka Allah, Hakka, Nataha, Matazarai, Hakka, Lahakoyam, Amakayam, Hakka, Irakawa, Amata Allah, Garashem, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Wada Aman.
In English, Yahweh, name of Yahweh, each give us the power, the heal, of disease, the pleasure, the resident, forget some things, cast them out, name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
We're going to say blessings. Barakata Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Maka Allah, Alahaya, Maka Zabia, Allah Wapia, Asaranium, Akutazanium, Akaliakim, Wapium, Yahweh, Washem, Yahweh, Wada.
In English, bless you Yahweh,
bless you Yahweh,
and General, captains, officers, troopers, and assistants, Yahweh, thank you, so be it.
Let's say, bless Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakanawa, Sapari, Rapa, Magam, Hashem, Yahweh Shai,
in English, Yahweh, name of Yahweh, bless us, and Israel, bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
Alright, Psalm 121 in Hebrew,
Asha'a,
Ayanya, Al-Harayam, Ayam, Yaba'a, Azariah, Ayam, Yahweh, Aisha, Ayam, Ratizat, Namawat, Galka, Alianawat, Shamaka,
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help comes from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. Will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper, Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
Lakawa, Yakadana, Magawi, Mala'a, Yazaka, Shami Shala, Iwada, Aya, Nawaitu, Laba, Yakawa, Ayaka, Maria, Karafu, Ahalia, Adawan, Wayashamai Adayan, our Abba, Mahabarayan, Gaba, Mawan, Malam, Alashak, Ayeshabi, Azuwo, Gam Ashuwo, Nalawa, Imam, Nalawa, Nalawa, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamania, Asilia Sarah, Kayabia, Akab, Koyashu, Makamaro, the Ira, Ayawa, Aman, Adam, Shajatam, Adaya, Iraq, Kazambak, Wakata Zamanai, Kaina Siakam, Asha, Amara, Russia, Lanawa, Nawak, Alahaya, Shajatam, Galgala, Kwash, Lapani, Wawaka, Kaash, Waira, Yaira, Wabasa, Wapaska, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Palawan, like Wayaba Kwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Uyabahalo, Ayag, Uyakaparo, Uyabaru, Uyadayu, Uyakta, Laka, Yahawa, Labaka, Ayawan, Akaha,
Psalm 83 in English. Keep not outside.
Keep not outside.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold thy peace. Be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For Lu. My enemies. Make it tomorrow. They that hate thee. Have lifted up the head. Have taken captive counsel against thy people. Consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off. Be a nation. In the name of Israel. No more remembrance. For they have consulted together. One consent. They have conferred against him. Tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Moab, and Hagarees, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, Isupk, also joined with them, their conquered, the children of Lot, Salah, go unto them, unto the Midianites, Syria, Jabin, the book of his son, the spirits at Endor, who became as done for the earth, make them noble, like Uruk, yea, all the princes, Danuna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, and the summer for the wind, and the fire burn the wood, and the flames into the mountain of fire. So persecuted with thy tempest, make them afraid with thy storm, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, and the Most High will
So the reader has verses.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now, that evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the heathen, and speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the schools, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the heathen. And shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel, and refuse to give to the poor, force their riches, to enter thy sanctuary, and evils and curses, punishment and destruction, to the Edomites, and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of enemies, blessing goes on, Roman Catholic Church, Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Klan, Iranian nation, skinheads, Cosmopolitan, gay movement, lesbian, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit, any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction, all the heathen, that stand in the way, and try to stop us from broadcasting your word through all the planet, and loose all the flames, cause them to go to and fro through the consume them. Let the plagues take the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucer and punish all the heathen come up against us. As we speak thy word, cause to be known by all. The angels that are done it, cause to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world, cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you all.
So, which means to be seated. And today we will continue reading the book of Numbers, chapter 2, and verse 4. In the Hebrew. What is Sabbath selected? What is Zab Awa? Wapakwa the Yaham. Arabai. Washabaayam. Allah. Washasha. Ma'awa. With 5. Wahakaniyam. Aliyawa. Mata. Yashasha. Yashaka. Yashashaka. Wanashaya. Labanya. Yashashaka. Natan na Allah. Ban. Tazawa Ira. With 6. Watasaba Awa. Wapakwa the Yawa. Arabaya. Waka Mashayam. Allah. Wa Arabai. Ma'awa. With 7. Mata. The Balawan. Wanashaya. Labanya, Zabalawan, Ab, Ban Kalan. Verse 8. What is Za'abawa? Wapakwa diyaw. Salakia. Wapakwa diyaw. Shaba'ai. Waka Mashiel. Allah. Wa Arabai. Ma'awa. Verse 9. Kal. Apakwa diyaw. Lamakan. Yahawada. Atam. Allah. Wa Shamayim. Allah. Wa Shashat. Alapiyam, wa Arabai, Ma'awa, Lataza Abatham, Ra'ashan, Yasa'aiwa. Verse 10. The Gal, Makan, Ra'awaban, Yaman, Lataza Abatham, Wanayash, Salakia, Wanashia, Labanya, Ra'abawan, Sarauban, Alayat Za'awa, Salakia, Alayat Zawa, Ban, Shadaya, Awo. That's if we say.
The book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 4. And the host of those that were numbered of them were 614,600. Verse 5. And those that pitch next unto them shall be the tribe of Issachar, of Nathanael, the son of Zerub, shall be captain of the children of Isupk, and his hosts, and those were numbered thereof 54,400. Verse 7. Then the tribe of Zebulun, and Eliab, son of Helion, shall be the captain of the children of Zebulun, and the host of those that were numbered thereof were 57,400. Verse 9. And they were numbered in the camp of Judah 100,006 and 6,400 throughout their armies. These shall first set forth. Verse 10. On the south side shall be the standard of the camp of Reuben to their armies, and the captain of the children of Reuben shall be Elazur, the son of Shadur. Right. So again, continuing off, on what was read on the last reading, into the book of Numbers, and now you're seeing where the instructions was given to Moses, to set up men on each, as you say, the four corners of the land that the Most High had given unto Israel. So now you see the structure when you read from in verse 1, and it name them, you say chief men, and men after the seed of the father, or the house of their father, and name them coming. So now it's showing you now, as we see, as we go into the structure, on which side each tribe is going to be set up, to man or to look over, what the Most High has given unto them. So,
Nah, lie. Okay, so you continue reading. The book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 11. Watasabat, watazam ba'awa, wapakwadia, salakia, wapakwa de yawo, shasha, wa arabayan, Allah, wakamash, ma'awa, verse 12, waha kawanam, Ilayawa, Mata, Shama Iwan, Wanashayaw, Labanya, Shama Iwan, Shalashia, Salakia, Shala Mayala, Ban, Salakia, Taza wa Ara'a, Salakia, Taza wa Araya Yashadia, verse 13, Watazaba wa Awa, Wapakwadi Yaham, Tasha'ai, Wakamashiyam, Allah, Washasha, Salaki, Washalash, Ma'awa, verse 14, Wama'ata, God, Wanashala, Wana Shaya, Lapanya, Salaki, Lapanya, God, Alayasap, Ban, Ra'ai wa Allah, verse 15, Wataza Ba'awa, Wapafada Yaham, Kamash, wa Araba'ayam, Allah, wa Shasha, Ma'awa, wa Kamashiyam, verse 16, Ka, Hakodayam, Lamakana, Ra'awaba, Ma'ata, Allah, wa Akad, wa Kamashiyam, Allah, wa Arabai, Makawa, wa Kamashiyam, La Taza Batam, Washanayam, Yasa'aiwa, with 17, Wanasa'ai, Ahal, Mawa'aida, Makan, Halawayam, Bakwaka, Hamakan Nata, Ka'asha, Yakanawa, Kan, Sa'aiwa, Ayash, Al, Yadawa, Ladagala Hayam. That's it.
Book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 11. And his hosts and those that were numbered, therefore, were 46,500. And those which pitch by him shall be the tribe of Simeon. And the captain of the children of Simeon shall be Sheloim, the son of Zerudiah, and his hosts, and 300, verse 40, God, and the captain of the son shall be Eliyai Sapha, the son of Reuel, and his hosts, and those numbered of them were 45,650, and that were numbered in the camp of Reuben, and 100,050, and 1,450 throughout the armies, and there they shall set forth the second rank, Verse 17. Then the tabernacle of the congregation shall set forward the camp of the Levites in the midst of the camp, and as they encamp, shall they set forth every man in his place by their standards.
So like if I may, once more, it's just this is just the nation of Israel, especially the men of war, because at that time Israel was surrounded by all the enemies. You understand? And as they looking to go through the land to be able to conquer, to take the land that the Most High promised to them, they had to set a particular order for when they were traveling, when they were moving, so that when it comes to protection and coordination, right, the nation of Israel was ready for anything. You understand? And that was the structure that was given. I don't know if you want to add anything.
Just add on, again, now you're seeing where each tribe, and had that space, and as it make mention, on the east side, was Judah. Judah, yes, was Judah, Zebulun, Judah, Zebulun. On the south side, you see Reuben, Simeon, and Gad. So, and as we continue to go down and in each and every one, I just say, certain place, certain, I just say, these men are war. And you are Sabbath, surrounded, as we say, by all our enemies, and making sure that that they pitch where they can protect again all these women and all these children, and protect the nation. And again, I must make mention at the as we say, the trip to Akuna.
That's right.
These women are war, protecting their families, as I say, name them. And as we see again, the perfect structure, and again, the only place I can find that structure is in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General. And this is why we will always read about the setup of the nation of Israel, right?
And so we'll continue reading in the book of Numbers chapter 2 and verse 18 in the Hebrew. Gadal, Makana, Aparium, Latazaba Atham, Yama, Wanasha'a, Labanya, Aparium, Alayashiam, Salakia, Allah, Yashamai, Ban, Aimaya, Hawada, verse 19. Watazaba Awa, Wapakwadium, Arabayam, Allah, Wakamash, Ma'awath, verse 20. Wa'ayla Yawa, Ma'ata, Wanasha, Wanashaya'a, Labanya, Manasha, Gamala'a, Gama Laya'ala, Ban, Pada Hataza War, verse 21. Watazaba Awa, Wapa Pada Shanayam, Washalashia, Allah, Ma'ata Salakia, Wa Ma'ata Yam, verse 22. Wa Mata, Banaya Man, Wanashaya'a, Labanya, Banayaman, Abayadawa, Salakia, Abayadan, Ban, GEN.YAHANNA, Salakia. GEN 23. Wapakodayaham, Kamash, Shalashia, Allah, Wa Arabai, Ma'awath, verse 24. Cow, Hapakwadayaham, Salakia. Hapakwadayam, Lamaka, Aparayam, Ma'ata, Allah, Washamanath, Alapayam, Alapiam, Wama'a, Latazaba'a Thumb, Washalashia, Yasa Aiwa. That's it.
Numbers chapter 2 and verse 18. On the west side shall be the standard of the camp of Ephraim, according to the armies, and the captain of the son of Ephraim, Elishaham, the son of Maihud, and his host, and those that were numbered of him were 40,500. And by him shall be the tribe of Manasseh, and the captain of the children of Manasseh shall be Gamaliel, the son of Adah, Azur, and his host, and those were numbered of him 32,200. Then the tribe of Benjamin, the captain of the son of Benjamin, shall be Abidan, the son of Gideoni, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 35,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim, 100,000, and 8,100 throughout the armies, and they shall go forward in the third rank.
So again, you see each tribe set in order, right, that they can execute what it is they need to do, and there was not any discord. You understand? When time to move, everybody knew what they're supposed to do. Each tribe had their captains and their officers and everybody else who were ready for war, right? And at any given time, once the order is given, these men were ready to fight. These were skilled, trained men of war. Them was not duppy. You understand? Was nothing close. These were the elite men. You understand? Ready for anything at any time. These men were constantly training because why the enemies were always lurking somewhere. Because wherever we passed, you understand? If that enemy didn't want us to pass for any reason, and the Most High say, "Yo, deal with them," right? That's what we were supposed to do, right? We were supposed to be ready for war at all times, right? So, like I said, anything I think.
Again, when you look at on a whole, as you say, the structure that is being set up right here, and that is why we always say the I.S.U.P.K, again, from the 7 heads come straight down, had this 12 tribes chart on point. Because now when you're looking at this, and as you read on, you will just see the same exact place, just as our forefathers, we say, before he turned to Israel, Jacob, given, these 12 sons, where they will end up in these last days. And you see now, as you say, on the east, now I just making mention with Judah, Isupk, and Zebulun. That same pattern. Judah, the American blacks, Isupk, as you say, the Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, Zebulun from Guatemala to Panama. And you're seeing that same structure come down. And when you watch now, and on the next one, you see Reuben, the Seminole Indians, Gad, the Native American Indians, and next one is and Simeon, the Dominicans.
That's right.
And we know how them in close proximity with each other. And now when you look at this part now, as we read here now, we see Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin, these Caribbean islands, Puerto Rico, Cuba, the whole Caribbean islands. We see that, as we say, anyway, as we say, that, you know, where this 12 tribe came from, again, is only from the I.S.U.P.K. From the Semnites, came straight down, and it was on point. So anybody else, you know, trying to take this, they got from the I.S.U.P.K. first, right?
That's right. I'm the same Christ. So you continue reading in the book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 25. Gadal, Makana, Dan, Tazana, Lataza Ba'atham, Wanashaya'a, Labanya, Dan, Akaya Aiza, Ban, Aimaya Shadaya. Verse 26. Watazaba Awa, Wapakwade Yaham, Shanayam, Washashaya, Allah, Washaba'ai, Ma'awaf. Verse 27. Wahaka Nayam, Ayawa, Mata, Ashar, Wanasha Ya'a, Labanya, Ashar, Paga'ai de la Ya'ala, Ban, Karan. Verse 28. Watazaba Awa, Wapakwade Yaham, Akkad, Wa Arabayam, Allah, Wa Khamash, Ma'awaf. Verse 29. Wa Mata, Napath Laya, Wa Nashaya Aya, Labanya, Napath Laya, Akaraaya, Salakia, Aka Yarai, Ban, Yanana, verse 30. Wataza Ba'awa, Wapakwa de Yaham, Shalash, Wakamashyam, Allah, Rabai, Awaf, verse 31. Ka, Apakwadia, Lamakana, Dan, Ma'awaf, Salake Ma'atha, Allah, Washabaya, Wakamashim, Allah, Shasha, Washasha, Ma'awaf, La'aka Rana, Yasa Aiwa, Lada Salake Lada Gala Yaham. Verse 32. I think that's it.
The book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 25. Then the standard of the camp of Dan shall be on the north side by their armies, and the captain of the children of Dan shall be Azariah, the son of Mashu Deal, and his host, and that were numbered of them were 62,700. These that encamped by him shall be the tribe of Asher, and the camp of the children of Asher shall be Pegail, the son of Okan, and his host, and those that were numbered of them were 41,500. Then the tribe of Naphtali, and the captain of the children of Naphtali was Ariah, the son of Enan, and his hosts, and those that were numbered of them were 50,003,400. And all that were numbered in the camp of Dan were 100,050, 7,600. They shall go in the most with their standards. These are those which were numbered of the children of Israel by the house of their fathers, and all those that were numbered, the camps throughout their hosts were 600,000 and 3,550. Again, one quick point, as you read, you see a structure as well in the rank setup. Who would take charge first, followed by who would move after, and it goes in that order. That's right. That rank structure. And this is why we always make mention that we are not affiliated with no religious group or organization. Because now, in these religious group or organization, they just, as we say, like a clubhouse. Everybody could be anybody at any time. I had no order, I had no structure, and get come in at any time. And this is why again, we always make mention that these religious organizations, the Bible, they teach religion. They teach, what the all oppressor formulated for them to go by, and the structure and the order. But what we teach in the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General GEN.YAHANNA is our history. We teach that in these records, which belongs to and as a nation to follow, and as we we continue to go through the records, as we say, on these Sabbath service, and the classes as well, done by generals and many captains and officers throughout the entire east, west, north, and south, four corners of the earth set up, where the Most High Spirit dwells in this body, the I.S.U.P.K. This is where you're going to find again true order and structure. Right? I didn't want to jump.
Solidly. I'm most interested to continue reading. In the book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 32. Allah, Pokwa Wadaya, Banya, Yasha'ala, Labaya, Abatham, Ka, Pokwada, Salakia, Pokwa Wadaya, Amaka na Habakwana, Latazab Batham, Shasha, Ma'awa, Allah, wa Shalasha, Alahaya, Alapia, wa Kamash, wa Ma'awa, wa Kamashia, verse 33, wa Hala Yom, Salakia, wa Ha, Lawaya, La'a, Hasapa Kwadawo, Bathwaka, Banya Yasha'al, Ka Asha, Tazawa, Yahweh, Masha, verse 34. Waya Aishawa, Ban Yasha'ala, Kakal, Asha, Tazawa, Yahweh, Masha, Khan, Kanawa, La Dagala, La Yaham, Wakan, Nasaiwa, Ayash, Lama Shapaka Salakia, Lama Shapaka Tayawa, Bayat, Abath Yawa. The book of Numbers, chapter 3 and verse 1. Wa Allah tawaladat Aharon wa Masha wa Yawam Daba Yahweh Masha Baha Sayanaya, verse 2. Wa Allah Mashawah Banya Ahran Habaka Nadab Salakia Nadab wa Baya Hawa'a Ala Isa Aliza wa Ayathama, verse 3. Alaha Shamawa Banya Aharan Hakahan Niyam Hamashiaka Salakia Hamashiaka Asha Mala'a Yadam La Kahan, verse 4. Wayama Nadab wa Salakia wa Abba Yahawa Labanya Salakia Lapanya Yahawa Bahapa Rab Salakia. Shayana Wabaya Waba Nayam La'a Payawa Laham Waya Kahan Aliza wa Ayathama Banya Aharan Abayaham. That's it.
Book of Numbers, chapter 2 and verse 33. But the Levites were not numbered among the children of Israel, as the Most High commanded Moses. And the children of Israel did according to all the Most High commanded Moses, so they pitched their standards, and so they set forward everyone after their families, according to the house of their fathers. Book of Numbers and verse 1. These also are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Most High spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. These are the names of the son of Aaron: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the priest, which anointed, whom he consecrated to be ministers in the priest's office. And Nadab and Abihu died before the Most High when they offered strange fire before the Most High in the wilderness of Sinai, and they had no children. And Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest's office in the sight of Aaron their father. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying,
Most interesting. Just something I want to bring out just at the ending of, in Numbers, right? I think it's right on to verse 32 and verse 33. It's showing where they number the children of Israel, right, to be about 600,000, right? But what we need to understand, the scripture must be precept upon precept, line upon line. You understand? Is a flow. And if you don't understand, the beginning, you will never understand the end.
That's right.
And that is very critical in understanding these scriptures. And right here, where the Most High told Moses to number the children of Israel and number the men of war from 20 years up on who were able to fight war. And if you go back when the children of Israel came out of Egypt, you understand, they were numbered, right? That is Exodus 12, right? And Exodus 12 and verse 37, which says, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 on foot that were men. And that was very specific because this really showed that these were the men who were able and fit for war, right? They say, besides children. And then the next verse said, and a mixed multitude went up also with them. So you have 600,000 men who could fight. You understand? Besides children who were just younger. Then you have old men, you have women, and you have everybody else. You have young ladies, everybody else going up with them with the flocks, and the other men who were unable to fight. So the 600,000 men was the men who could fight. Then we had the Levites who were not numbered. You understand? They were just separated to do the work of the Most High. So I don't hear what I think.
Again, as we we go just go into anything.
That's right.
But that's why, as you say, because now we're reading, as you say, from the beginning coming down. And if you don't know, as you also make mention, if you never read from the beginning, you would never know the entirety of our history, as we say, of what was told by our forefathers,
right.
in times past. And that is why now, as you say, we end up in religion.
That's
and
right.
Forming all kind of, as you say, demigod and worshiping all these, as you say, idols. And that's why this is so important that they really tune into these, Sabbath services and them, and through classes through in order to get in full in depth and detail about history and about the identity, and knowing that based on, as we say, as we now read again in 34, and the children of Israel did according that all that the Most High commanded Moses. So they pitched by the, as we say, every tribe, they uphold the integrity to make sure that that's why it had the rank structure.
That's right.
To know who is in charge at that, on the east side, on the west side, and the north side.
That's right.
Keep that standard. Now everybody now go set in order and follow the instructions of the person in charge.
That's right.
And that's why we always make mention that again, we ain't affiliated with no religious group, again,
That's
organization.
That's
but
right.
here, as we say, we follow the instructions of the Most High, or King I.S.U.P.K come straight down through Commander General GEN.YAHANNA, and giving the instructions again to bring back these 12 tribes.
That's right.
Right? Right. And as we now read, in verse 4, verse 3, right now, and verse 4, and Nebdad and Abel died before the Lord when they offered strange fire. You can go back and you can read about why that took place. Because now they did something that was evil in the sight of the Most High. And as I mentioned, that custom, that Egyptian custom,
that's right,
set in my mind. And that's why, as the scripture says in Revelation, it says, come out of her. Come out of her. Because why? Because now what happened is a fearful thing to fall, and this was an example, to fall in the hands of the Most High. And these brothers did some evil, and what they end up? They end up in the hands of the Most High. You see the results are that.
That's right.
Punishment, which is death. Right?
Oh, that's not crazy. Oh, so like yes.
No, sir. It's fine.
Yeah, this was fine.
It's the last one. The book of Numbers, chapter 3 and verse 5. Waya the bara Yahweh Allah Mashaha La'a Mara Aqua Rabah Asa Matha Lawaya Waha Aima Data Athawa Lapa Naya Aha Rana Aka Hana Washa Rathawa Athawa Washa Marawo Masha Mara Thawa Wa'atha Marawo Atha Kalaya Ayala Mawa Aida Wa'ath Masha Mara Sabah Banaya Yesha La'ai Tada Atha Aiba Datha Yama Shakana Wana Taha Atha Hala Wayam La'a Harana Wala Bana Yawo Natha Wanam Natha Wanam Amaiha Lawo Ma'atha Wanaya Wa Yasha'al verse 10. Wa'ath Aha Rana Wa'atha Taha Bana Yawa Tapa Kwada Washa Marawa Atha Kaha Natham Waha Zara Aqua Rabah Wa Matha Waya Labara Yahweh Allah Mashaha La'a Mara. Right? So we'll continue on in the reading in the book of Numbers, chapter 3 and verse 5. Bring the tribe of Levi near, and present them before Aaron and the priests, that they may minister unto him. And they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation, to do the service of the tabernacle. And they shall keep the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the children of Israel to do the service of the tabernacle. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and to his sons, and they shall wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. And thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest office, and the stranger that come near shall be put to death. Verse 11. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, so again, as we continue to read on down, it's showing you, as had been made mention, in the beginning, this was again the setup, of how this office of the priesthood would be, conducted, and then given the example of, as we read before, the example of not, following the instructions, and as it made mention in verse 10, and thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest office, and the stranger that come nigh shall be put to death. So anybody that wasn't anointed, to carry out that priest office within, that tribe would be put to death. And even amongst the tribe of the nation of Israel. Because now, this is, as it make mention, this one. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aaron and his sons. All the Levites, because remember now, as we read before, the Levites wasn't identified as a tribe. But now what is going to be set up is the office of the priesthood. And Aaron and his sons going to be spearheaded this priesthood, going to be looking over this priesthood. And that's why it make, not because I just say you might be a Levite or as you say from the tribe of Levi, you could come before, unless Aaron and his sons, as you say, the head priest, in give you the anointing, then you can't come before and say I is a Levite and I is part of the priesthood. It must go that way, had the structure, and that way the Most High set up, and that way say give Aaron and his sons charge over that to bring that structure to order. Right? I need to.
Right. So I continue.
Yeah.
The book of from 12. Yeah, come. The book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 12. Anaya, Anna, La Kokasaya, Halawaya, Mafoka, Banya, Yasha'ala, Fakaf, Ka, Bakawa, Patah, Rakam, Mabanya, Yasha'ala, Wahayawa, Laya, Halayawa, Halawayam. Verse 13. Kaya, Laya, Ka, Bakawa, Bayawam, Akafia, Ka, Bakawo, Ba'arataza, Matazaraya, Hakwadash Yatha, Salak Hakwadash Shafia, Laya, Ka, Bakawa, Bayasha'ala, Ma'adam, Aida, Bahama, La Kaya, Salakalaya, Yahweh, Yawa, Aniya, Yahweh. Verse 14. Wayada, Yahweh, Allah, Musha, Bamadaba, Sayaniya, La'ama. Verse 15. Fakoda, Banya, Lauya, Labayaf, Abatum, La Masha Pasakam, Kal, Zakar, Kadash, Wama'aila, Tapakwadam, Waya Pakwad, Atam, Masha, Ya, Yahweh, Ka'asha, Tazawa, verse 17. Allah, Banya, Lauya, Bashamatham, Garashawan, Wakwa Haf, Wamara Raya, verse 18. Wa'alaha, Shamawaf, Banya, Shawan, Lamasha Pataka, Lamasha Pakatham, Labanya, Washamaya. I think that's it, yeah. Well, one more? All right, it's 19. Wabanya, Kwahath, Lamasha Pakatham, I'm Wayatazaha, Kabarawan, Wa'ai Taza Layaha, Salakia, Wa'ai Zaya'ala. That's it.
Chapter 3 and verse 12. And I, behold, I have taken the Levite from among the children of Israel, of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Therefore the Levite shall be mine, because all the firstborn are mine. For in the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, I hallowed unto me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast. Mine shall they be. I am the Most High. For the Most High spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, Number the children of Levi after the house of their fathers, their families, every male from a month old and upward shalt thou number them. And Moses numbered them according to the word of the law of the Most High, as he was commanded. Verse 7. And these were the sons of the Levi by their names, Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari. And these are the names of the son of Gershon by their families, Libin and Shemael. Verse 19. The sons of Kohath, the families, Amram, Izahar, Hebron, Uzziel.
Yeah, again, we see in here how the nation of Israel, in a sense, had men of war and had men dedicated to the work of the Most High, right? And this has to be distinguished. But now, in this essence, we are all priests. You understand? In this current situation, this current, as some would say, you understand? This is what the Most High has made us to be what? Kings and priests. At that time, only the Levites, you understand, were ordained to be those priests at that time. But now the entire nation of Israel are priests, all the men. You understand? And this is something that we have to understand now in these last days, where we are called to be what? Men of the Most High. So that is why blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to come into the under Commander General Yahanna and take up the mantle that we were ordained to keep. So that's what I'm going to say.
And again, as the reminder has been brought out, or reading out, and we will always like to make this clear. This is not religion.
That's right.
This is not, as we say, everyday imam, mosque, or as we say, Christian church formulated by by men. Because as we always make mention, religion is a lie. Because now it was formulated by our oppressors to keep us, in that mindset of not knowing who we are. As we read in our prayers, in every Sabbath service, in Psalms 83, that this was a conspiracy, that that they would blot out the name of Israel, to be no more in remembrance for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And this is why this is important in our records, in our history, that this book that we're reading out of, which is the Bible, which is this belongs to you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And don't, be confounded, or as we say, or be swayed by, as we say, by everything that religion had offered us. Because again, the truth is out here. Our King Yahushua had set the standard and had raised the barrier. Because again, as we all as generals and then continue to bring out, and as the instructions passed down, the same exact thing as we say, we're going to say just as our King, come straight through the channel and make it mention and make it known to these 12 tribes. Because now we follow the instructions, from that order, that rank order that has been set up. And this is why now again, it is very imperative that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, tune in, tune in to get that insight of knowing the history, of insight of knowing your identity, knowing your laws. As we say, Joshua 1 and 8, the whole book is law. Everything that we read out there is law. Because now it is an application to you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that that would bring you back to set you in that right standing with the Most High, our power, right? So,
and that brings us to the end of the service, and we say, I imagine.
SHALAM to Israel. Imagine when you have Kodam, you rise and face the east. Sa, which means to turn. You're going to say Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Malakafka, Taba'a, Zaka, I.S.U.P.K, Ishak, Barakisa, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemayim, Nathan, Wanawa, Lakan, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakawa, Kawabaknawa, Kasalakawa, Kawawatinawa, Wala'a, Kabiyanawa, Walasaiwan, Abba, Kawashaino, Yan, Rai, Kaya, Ka, Malakwa, Allah, Watapara, Iwalamium. In the English, our Father, God in heaven, be thy name, Yahweh, kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth, as it is in heaven, give us this day, our daily bread, forgive us our debts, forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
We say, Akap, the power, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Tananawa, Akap, Rapa'ah, Kamat Allah, Kamat the Wolf, Akap, Rataha, Kamat Azariah, Akap, Lakoyam, Matayam, Akap, Irapawa, Mata Allah, Nagarashin, Hashem, Yahushai, Tawad.
In the English, Yahweh, name of Yahweh, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, for to cleanse the leper, for to raise the dead, for against unclean spirits, cast them out, in the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
You can say blessings, Barakatah Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Alahai, Zabia, Alawap Yahan, Alawap, Asarani, Akotazan Yam, Akadian Yam, Wafia, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Wadaman.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh,
and Yahushai, and Mike, and the angel, generals, captains, officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. We say, bless Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Rabbanawa, Aliyah, Sapari, Barak, Rapah, Agan, Hashem, Yahushai, Tawad.
In the English, Yahweh, name of Yahushai, bless us, bless and Israel, and the school, bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones, name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it.
We say Psalm 121, Asha'ah, Yanya, Haryam, Ayan, Laba'ah, Azariah, Ayam, Yahweh, Asha'ah, Shamayam, Aratazah, Ayathan, Amawat, Agaka, Ayanawam, Samarka, Na, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashan, Shawamah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazaka, Ayar, Yanka, Yawamam, Hashemah, Ma'ah, Yakata, Yarak, Ayalel, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Kalarai, Yashemah, Afnashpukra, Yahweh, Yashemah, Kazahaska, Abuaka, Ayata, Ayid, Iwala.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills, from whence come my help. My help coming from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. You will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon the right hand. The sun shall not smite you by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, even forevermore.
You say something between the Hebrew, Alahayam, and the Mayabaka, Al-Taparash, Al-Tashabat, Al-Kayahanna, Al-Yawaka, Al-Yawan, Al-Ash, Al-Maka, Al-Rayawa, Sawada, Al-Yata, Al-Tazawa, Al-Tazakawanta, Amaro, Lakawa, Al-Yakadam, Al-Gawya, Wala'ah, Yazaka, Sham Yasha'ala, Al-Wada, Al-Ya, Al-Tazawa, Al-Ba, Yakarwa, Al-Yaka, Maria, Rafwa, Alahalia, Adawan, Wayashamai Alasham, Baba Abba, Hagarai, Bab, Aimawan, Malak, Alashaf, Aimeshabi, as a war, Yam Ashur, Lanawa, Malawa, Sarawa, Wanyalawa, Salah, Aishalaham, Amalia, Kasaya, Sarah. Kayabya, Anakal, Yashwan, Lashamaro, Wayan, Ra, Ayawa, Lama, La Adam, Shayatamo, Nadaya, Nawa, Kira, Kazaba, Wakaltas in the night, Kalmasi Akamo, Shah, Amaro, Rasha, Nawa, Afna, Nawa, Alahaya, Shayatham, Dalgala, Kakwash, Lapan Yarawaka, Saba Iron, Salaki. Kaash, Iron, Wakalaha, Talaha, Ariyan, Kantaradapna, Basaraika, Nagasa, Wapafka, Kabahala, Aga, Panyaham, Palawan, Wayabakwasha, Shankar, Yahawa, Yabashua, Uya, Bahalu, Ayai, Wayakaparo, Wayabaru, Wayadaiwa, Kayata, Shankar, Yahawa, Yabatka, Al-Yaha, Al-Kaha,
Al-Ratazah. Psalm 83 in the English. Keep not thou silent.
Keep not thou silent.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
Thine enemies.
make it to mouth. And to that hate thee. Have lifted up the head. Have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off. Being a nation. Name of Israel. No more remember. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hamarim, the Baal, Ammon, the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre, also is joined with them. They are both the children of Lot, Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sirah, as to Jabin, and the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor, and became a dung for the youth, make them noble, like Ur, like Zeir, yea, all the princes, Zaluna, said, let us take to ourselves the house of Yahweh, in possession, O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burning the wood, as the flame set the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy sword, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, and the Most High over all. The I.S.U.P.K curses.
Blessed are you,
King of
Yahweh,
heaven and all things living. Yahweh, name of Yahweh, listen to us now, right now. And evils and curses, punishment and destruction, the heathen that speak against us, the prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the schools, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the heathen, and shake loose, the treasure of the rich of Israel, and refuse to give to the force their riches, everything that I sent you, and evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, the Edomite, and the nation, and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, and parental, all the government of our enemies, synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Slant, nation, skinheads, Quasikumatazi, the gay movement, the lesbian, spies, because of witchcraft, NASA space program, army, navy, air force, marine, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from casting your through all the plans, and lose all the plagues, through the earth, consume them, and the plagues, take the house of the teeth, and the murder that Yahweh, Michael, Gabriel, down the flying saucer, punish all the heathen that come up against us, and they speak thy word, cause to be known by all. As the angels that have done, cause to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world, cause them to shake like thunder. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you all. So be it.
Sir. Let's give one quick salute. I'm Majum Shabbat, I'm Majum, Barak, Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Baratah, Yadimata, Glasses Smith.